Pusarla Venkata Sindhu, India's champion badminton player, PV Sindhu has now etched her name in history after her bronze medal victory at the Tokyo Olympics. With this victory, Sindhu has now added a second Olympic medal to her cabinet after she won a silver in Rio Olympics 2016. Here's how and why Sindhu's achievement is nothing less than extraordinary.
India's PV Sindhu has created history. By winning bronze at the Tokyo Olympics, PV Sindhu has become only the second Indian player after Sushil Kumar to win back-to-back medals at the world's biggest sporting event. It's not just a victory for bronze, but a show of India's Nari Shakti. After Mirabai Chanu and Lavlina Borgohain, PV Sindhu has brought glory to the nation. Sindhu's path to the medal hasn't been easy. A loss against world number 1 Tai Tzu Ying threatened to derail her campaign. But Sindhu is a fighter and she came back from that loss to beat China's He Bingjiao. That's the hallmark of a champion, and Sindhu is India's champion. Sindhu might feel that her medal has been downgraded from a silver in Rio to a bronze in Tokyo. But the fact that she has won 2 successive Olympic medals give her the legendary status she deserves, no matter the color of her medal. Sindhu has dominated the game of badminton for a long time, and some of her achievements show how she has managed to stay at her peak. Apart from winning medals at the Olympics, Sindhu was the silver medalist at the 2018 Asian and Commonwealth Games. In 2019, she won gold at the Badminton World Championship. She also has 2 silver and 2 bronze medals to go with her 2019 gold. She was the winner of BWF World Tour Finals. And she has won the Korea Open, the China Open and the India Open in the past. She has also been awarded a number of honors, and that includes the Khel Ratna, the Padma Shri and the Padma Bhushan. Her attitude and hunger shows sky is the limit for India's ace shuttler. And she should be back, winning laurels for the nation. Be rest assured, she'll be back in Paris 2024. Sports Bureau, India Today.
Now, India is proud of Sindhu's spectacular performance as she wins back-to-back medals at the Olympics there. She won 2 medals, silver at Rio Olympics and now the bronze in Tokyo. The ace shuttler's father expressed his joy on her win, PV Sindhu's father there. PV Ramana has said that Sindhu was visibly upset after yesterday's defeat and was yet motivated for this match today. The proud father couldn't stop gushing as Sindhu is the first woman to bring 2 consecutive Olympic medals to India. Let's take a listen. He speaks exclusively to India Today. All right, now let's cut across to PV Sindhu's father, PV Ramana. Sir, we know that you're also a sports person yourself. This is, of course, a massive achievement here for PV Sindhu. Sindhu wins 2 consecutive medals at the Olympics. What was going on through your mind while through the match?
I was a bit tensed in the morning before the match, but once she started playing her movements and all, I was a bit confident that she can now win this match. So, and I'm really happy that the first girl from our country who has won consecutive medals, one after the other, in 2 consecutive representations of the Olympics.
All right, Mr. Ramana, we saw how involved you were in every move of PV Sindhu. You've been accompanying her through all her matches. This time, of course, unfortunately, you couldn't. But really, how proud of you are you as a father of PV Sindhu of her achievements?
So, I just told her because, see, it's a part of sport. You have given your best and let's forget this. This is over now. We have 1 more match to go. And this is, just keep in mind, this is the hard work which you have done for all these 5 years. And if you miss this opportunity, then again next 2024 is too far for us. So you have to get a medal. And I have given such encouraging words to her. And thank God and by the blessings of everyone, the entire nation, Modi ji, सब लोग का blessing से आज she could win the tournament.
Excellent. Well, we do know that she was quite upset. In fact, you did advise her. You said that time and again. And you also motivated her. We know that she was crying right after that match, after Saturday's match. But she really came back with a storm, with much enthusiasm. And she smashed that game to victory. She won a bronze medal. Really, I can't even imagine how proud you are of her.
So I just told her because, see, it's a part of sport. You have given your best. And let's forget this. This is over now. We have one more match to go. And this is, just keep in mind, this is the hard work which you have done for all these 5 years. And if you miss this opportunity, then again, next 2024 is too far for us. So you have to get a medal. And I have given such encouraging words to her. And thank God, and by the blessings of everyone, the entire nation, Modi ji, सब लोगों का blessing से आज she could win the tournament. No, see, as a sportsman, as a father, you know, we know the pain, how you have to sacrifice, how you have to work yourself, committed, you know, all these things, you know, we can't express in words. So, but I am so happy, delighted that she'll be coming back with a medal to the country.
All right, Mr. Ramana, thank you very much for joining us with all that. We know your motivation has really gone a long way in her clinching that medal for India. Now, Indian hockey is on the rise, and the proof is how they have performed at the Olympics so far. Barring that one anomaly against Australia, India has now been on song. In fact, they put on another great show there against Great Britain in the last 8, reaching the semis of the Olympics for the first time after 1972. In fact, India now needs a victory in the semis to ensure another medal for the nation. And this is how they romped home against Britishers.
The Indian men's hockey team are through to the semi-finals at Tokyo 2020. Manpreet Singh's men scripted history after they defeated Great Britain 3-1 in the quarter-finals. Dilpreet Singh, Gurjant Singh and Hardik Singh were all on target as the Indian men's team overcame a spirited Britain in the last 8. India had taken a 2-0 lead before half-time, but Britain pulled one back through a penalty corner. However, Hardik Singh scored in the final quarter to ensure an Indian victory. Considering India hadn't reached the Olympic semi-finals for 49 years, it is an extraordinary feat for this Indian hockey side. India, however, had won a gold at the 1980 Moscow Olympics, but then the format was different, with two sides who were top after the round-robin stage meeting directly in the finals. India will now face Belgium in the semi-finals, and the entire nation will be hoping for a performance that reminds the world of India's dominance in the sport in Olympic history. A team that has won 8 gold medals in hockey. Sports Bureau, India Today.
Now, Home Minister Amit Shah was in Uttar Pradesh on Sunday and has blown the poll bugle. He also reiterated that BJP would return to power with a massive majority in the 2022 Assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh. Here's more on that.
यूपी में जिनको सरकार बनाने के सपन आ रहे हैं, उनके कान तक ये आवाज जानी चाहिए. मेरे साथ जोर से बोलिए, भारत माता की, भारत माता की.
Home Minister Amit Shah setting the tone for Mission Uttar Pradesh, sounding the poll bugle with months from polls, pitching strong governance and vikas in the poll-bound state. Amit Shah on Sunday laid the foundation stone of Uttar Pradesh Institute of Forensic Sciences to help cops fight crime. The land, which was under control of land mafia, was released by the Yogi government.
उत्तर प्रदेश को माफिया मुक्त करने का काम भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार ने लिया है. उत्तर प्रदेश को भूमाफियाओं से मुक्ति दिलाने का काम भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार ने किया. उत्तर प्रदेश की माताओं बहनों को सुरक्षित रूप से जीने का अधिकार भारतीय जनता पार्टी की योगी सरकार ने.
इस भूमि पर लखनऊ के एक माफिया ने कब्जा करके वो प्लॉटिंग कराने जा रहा था और जैसे ही उत्तर प्रदेश पुलिस इसमें पार्टी बनी, वो माफिया स्वयं उससे हट गया और 142 एकड़ भूमि आज उत्तर प्रदेश शासन को प्राप्त हुई।
Shah hit out at the opposition and lauded Yogi government's efforts to battle the pandemic, asserting that BJP has fulfilled its poll promises and will storm back to power in 2022.
आज वैक्सीनेशन में भी उत्तर प्रदेश देश में सबसे पहले, बेड बनाने भी सबसे आगे हैं, टेस्टिंग में सबसे आगे हैं और उत्तर प्रदेश के नागरिकों को सुरक्षा देने में भी आज आगे हैं। जनता को भी कहना चाहता हूं कि किसी के बहकावे में मत आइए। आपके गांव में जो विकास हुआ है इसको एक बार देखिए, शहर में जो विकास हुआ है उसको देखिए। परिवारवाद को उखाड़ कर फेंक देने का काम भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने किया है, उसको देखिए। जो सपना देख रहे हैं उनको मैं कहना चाहता हूं कि भैया फिर से एक बार करारी हार का मन बना लो। यहां भारतीय जनता पार्टी की प्रचंड बहुमत से सरकार बनने है।
BJP plans to better its performance in the upcoming elections, aiming to break its previous record and get more than 324 seats. The focus will be on 80 seats, including Sonia Gandhi's Lok Sabha seat Rae Bareli, Samajwadi Party's stronghold of Akbarpur and Etawah. So far nearly impregnable for BJP.
Home Minister Amit Shah is giving a strong message of development along with the Hindutva. At the same time, Mirzapur, a stronghold of Apna Dal, and at the same time BJP ally, is also looking as a caste arithmetic factor which will be very important for the BJP to win the battle in 2022.
Amit Shah is in the state of laying the blueprint of the same. Shah met Uttar Pradesh's former Chief Minister Kalyan Singh, who is ailing and was in power when Babri Masjid was demolished. The Home Minister also laid the foundation stone of Vidya Vasini religious corridor project in Mirzapur. He also offered prayers at Vishwanath Temple in Prime Minister Modi's constituency Varanasi. In the Battle of Uttar Pradesh, will the BJP paint the state saffron once again? Or will the opposition be able to stop the saffron juggernaut?
It is very clear with the fact that 2022 is going to be an important battle for the BJP with the agenda of development. Along with Hindutva, BJP is targeting 300 plus. For that, not only the ministers but the respective MP, MLAs and the organization is all set with the preparation to get that number in Uttar Pradesh. In Mirzapur with cameraman Sanjay Singh, Abhishek Mishra for India Today.
Now, as the border face-off rages on, Assam Chief Minister Hemanta Biswa Sharma breaks his silence on the FIR filed against him over 26 July clashes. He said that he is ready to be arrested if that really resolves the issue along the border. Meanwhile, in the first sign of truce, Mizoram Chief Secretary told India Today that he will be speaking to the police officers to mull withdrawal of Assam Chief Minister's name from that FIR. Ashutosh Mishra with more on that.
A raging border face-off. An ugly fallout of a 150-year-old conflict. Now takes another ugly turn. After death of 6 Assam policemen in clashes at Mizoram border with suspected Mizo cops and attackers. Mizoram cops booked Assam CM Hemanta Biswa Sharma for conspiracy and murder bid. But the BJP strongman heading Assam is unfazed, advocating dialogue to resolve the border dispute.
If police give me notice, I'll go and I'll join the investigation. I call him not less than 18 to 20 times from 26th. On the day of 26th, probably I call him not less than 12 times.
He even laughed off the FIR by Mizoram cops.
If filing a FIR against me can resolve the Assam-Mizoram border dispute, I am extremely happy.
While Mizoram Chief Minister Zoramthanga claimed Assam police used light machine gun in the clashes, his government indicated a softening of stand, hinting at dropping of case against the Assam CM.
I will have a discussion with the concerned police officers who are filing that FIR, and if there is no legal hits in that, we would like to remove the name of the Honorable Chief Minister of Assam.
He also said that during the Shillong meeting on 24th, despite the meeting that we agreed to solve the crisis, the border dispute between two states amicably, on 24th July, the Assam police personnel, the armed police personnel did enter in the territory and captured the police outpost of Mizoram. And that led to this entire brawl that also resulted in injuring two personnels from the Mizoram side. The Chief Minister now appealing center to intervene immediately.
The killings of Assam cops has sparked an economic blockade by angry residents, which is now casting a shadow over Mizoram. Parts of Mizoram is running out of essentials such as petrol and diesel.
The state is in deep crisis, and the first, it begins with the fuel, the diesel and petrol, and perhaps why across the state in Mizoram, all 13 districts, the rationing of fuel has begun. And here all petrol pumps, now I'm here in one of such district after crossing Aizawl, and here you see no petrol, only permit by DC orders.
The people have to get the recommendations from their village panchayat leaders, and this is the recommendations which they have written down. So they will make an application, written application to them, and then the village panchayats will see the validity of
how much fuel you are providing to each vehicle.
It depends. On two-wheelers, we are giving them 3 liters. On medium vehicles, we are giving them maximum 10 liters, but mostly 5 liters.
The centre is meanwhile trying to broker peace by engaging both Assam and Mizoram government. Central forces patrolling the dispute zone have managed to establish calm. With Ashutosh in Aizawl, Bureau Report, India Today.
The development of the second shot of the Sputnik V vaccine has hit a technical roadblock in India, according to sources. This may result in delay in adding more doses to India's vaccination targets. Milan Sharma with more on that.
The third vaccine to get emergency nod in India, Russia's Sputnik V, is seen as a hope for India's vaccination drive. But several months later, makers of Sputnik V have hit a roadblock. Government sources informed India Today that the developers are finding it difficult to make a second shot. The second component of the vaccine is harder to manufacture because of its design as an adenovirus vector-based vaccine. Unlike other vaccines which use the same composition of doses for the first and the second shot, Sputnik V uses 2 different components in its COVID vaccine, using 2 different adenovirus vectors. While AD26 is the main vaccine, AD5 is a booster shot which is given 21 days or 3 weeks apart. The Russian Direct Investment Fund, however, has denied it, stating that reports about delays in production of the second component of Sputnik V in India based on anonymous sources are incorrect. A number of RDIF partners in India have already produced the second component batches, which are undergoing verification at the Gamaleya Center in Russia. The RDIF plans to accelerate deliveries of the Sputnik V and Sputnik Light to India in August. But even the Sputnik Light hit a regulatory wall. Dr. Reddy's proposal for an emergency use authorization and phase 3 clinical trial protocol for Sputnik Light, the one-dose version of Sputnik V, was not approved by a drug regulator, the DCGI, citing lack of justification to do a similar trial again. Serum Institute of India, the world's biggest vaccine producer, Gland Pharma, Hetero Biopharma, Panakia Biotech, Stelis Biopharma, Warchow Biotech and Morpen Laboratories working to produce the vaccine. Despite Sputnik V having tied up with experienced vaccine manufacturers for production of doses in India, the full rollout of the Russian vaccine has been affected. Projected estimates of doses expected from the Sputnik V was pegged at 10 crore between August and December 2021. Which was lowered from an earlier optimistic estimate of 15.6 crore doses. Only a little over 4,44,638 doses of Sputnik V vaccine have been administered in India, according to the data on the CoWIN platform on 30th July. At present, all Sputnik V vaccines being given in India are being imported from Russia by Dr. Reddy's. Dr. Reddy's spokesperson said, and I quote here, "We have received 31.5 lakh doses of component 1 and 4.5 lakh doses of component 2 of the Sputnik V vaccine in India. We are working closely with the RDIF to ramp up supplies."
India is still heavily dependent on imports of the Russian vaccine that is being administered in the country. The production was supposed to be ramped up by July, but the timeline has been further shifted to September now by the Sputnik V makers. With Nasir Khan, this is Milan Sharma for India Today.
On that note, it's a wrap on this bulletin. For further news and updates, do log on to indiatoday.in. You could also download our app for more. Thank you for watching.